situations, and I really don't know how I got there. I mean, okay, yeah, so sometimes it's my own fault, like I volunteered to be up here tonight. Other times it's with the awkwardness you would expect of a professional scientist. But most of the time, I just think the world is conspiring against me. Take, for example, the last few months of my PhD. They really didn't go how I planned. I finished my PhD in synthetic chemistry about a year ago in Edinburgh, where I had the honour of being my supervisor's very first PhD student. Now that sounds really cool. What it actually means is he didn't know what I was supposed to do, I didn't know what I was supposed to do. So it was kind of the blind leading the blind, not exactly how you want to do your doctorate. But I got through 3 years of experimental chemistry with my hair and eyebrows all intact. And I started thinking about writing this big thesis people kept talking about. Now, I was dreading it, right? I've never been able to spell. And I genuinely struggled to make it to 140 characters, never mind 280. So I thought I'd ease myself in. I opened up a Microsoft Word document, you know, faffed about with the margins and the page numbers. And then I wrote a title, Rational Design of Ligands to Support Reactive Main Group Species. That's snappy, definitely going on my Tinder profile. And underneath that I wrote my name, Stephanie Urwin. Now spelled U-R-W-I-N. Thanks, Dad, even that's weird. Not spelled with an I, like Steve Irwin. Not with an E, like Erwin Schrödinger. No, starts with a fucking U. Who do you know with a surname that starts with U? And to make it just a little bit worse, Microsoft rubbed it in by auto-correcting my name to Urwin. Did you know you can add words to the dictionary in Microsoft? It's life-altering. I only wish I'd found that out before I handed in my thesis. So despite the title page now referencing a bodily fluid, I kept going and I finally finished the first chapter. I sent it to my supervisor and waited for his feedback. And I waited, and I waited. And eventually I got an email asking me to join him in his office, a meeting request. Oh, he wants to tell me how good it is in person, right? Best thing he's ever read, no edits required. I'll take that, added compliments. So I go to his office, go in, you do the thing. How was your weekend? Oh, good, sit down. And then he says, to be honest, the whole thing reads like a Donald Trump speech. I was stunned. So good, it's presidential! No, what he actually meant was rambly, incoherent, and I'm pretty sure it had the word bigly in it. But I kept going, and I finished writing 241 pages of new knowledge and, let's be honest, spelling mistakes contributed to the field of chemistry. I just had one last thing to do. The viva. Now, in case you don't know, the viva, you could also call it the thesis defense, is where you sit normally in a stuffy university room with two of your field's top academics who grill you for hours on end about the content of your thesis, and they decide whether or not you can become a doctor. It's an exam. A very, very stressful exam. Possibly the highest, most important exam you will ever do in your life. Now, to make things a little bit more complicated, for my viva, I had to have 3 professors who came from all across Scotland then. I'm getting flashbacks just thinking about the doodle poll. But eventually we settled on March 7th, 2018. Now, a bit of context. In the academic community at that time, there was some turmoil over the pension scheme. Maybe a few of you might guess where I'm going. So, 2 days before my viva, I got an email from the head of the postgraduate school saying that all 3 of those professors were on strike and my viva was now cancelled. Yeah, I was absolutely devastated. I really, really needed to do my viva. I had a job and everything. I really needed to get it over with. And in my devastation, I saw I had another email in my inbox from one of the professors. I should probably open that one. So I opened it, and it just said, "Do you want to do your viva at my house?" A viva in a house? I mean, we've gone past weird and just gone straight to bizarre now. I mean, should I do my driving test in a steamroller while I'm at it? And I never even spoke to this professor. I mean, she was based in Edinburgh, but I never even spoken to her. And now she invited me to her house to do the most important, stressful exam of my life. But, she gave me the choice. I could do it or I couldn't, but I really, really needed to do my Viva, and I was kind of curious to see the inside of her house, so I thought, yeah, okay, let's do it. So the day before the Viva, I'm heading back on the train across to Edinburgh, because when travelling on ScotRail, always leave 24 hours before you want to get to the destination. And I'm thinking, should I bring a gift? Should I pick up some flowers? Could get whiskey. Could I get an engraved Bunsen burner at short notice? No, I should probably avoid bribery during my Viva, yeah. So the morning comes and my friend drops me off at her house. Yes, at her house. I'm going to say it again, her house. Who can afford a house in Edinburgh city centre? J.K. Rowling, Nicola Sturgeon, and professors at Edinburgh University, apparently. So I ring the doorbell and she lets me in. She takes my coat, she's putting it away, and I'm left in the hallway. And I'm just thinking, do I take off my shoes? It's polite to take off your shoes in someone's house. Oh, I really shouldn't have worn the unicorn socks. So, yeah. She shows me into the waiting room, her living room, and her phone starts ringing. It's the other examiners, and their trains are all delayed, so they're going to be really late. They should have gone 24 hours before they could be there. So I'm left making small talk with this professor, and her opening line is, "So what are you doing tomorrow to celebrate National Women's Day?" Going to work in a highly skilled position where I get paid the same as everyone, regardless of their gender, is what I should have said. Instead, I'm so nervous, sitting there sweating in my little Primark dress and unicorn socks in this fancy Edinburgh house, I just go, So now the ice is completely broken. And we're just waiting and waiting and waiting. And she introduces me to her cats, Einstein and Mr. Tiddles. She shows me the communal vegetable garden she has out of the window, which she called the hippie commune. That wasn't me. And then eventually the doorbell went, and then I'm really, really stressing out. Oh my god, they're here. The examiners are here in her house for my Viva. And I just hear her husband let them in, and one of them says, "Do we take off our shoes?" It wasn't just me. So they fill in all of the official paperwork, and she says, "Oh, we've got a nice room set up for you." She takes me through to the exam room of her home office, which came complete with a blackboard and chalk attached to the wall, because, you know, she's an academic. And the Viva starts, but I'm getting a bit distracted because I can hear something going on in the other room. Pretty sure she's got Radio 4 on, and the Archers is starting. Now, Jill's finally found a buyer for her strawberries. And Philip is too scared to take care of Jill's bees, but he's too scared to tell her because Jill's kind of scary. What a great soundtrack. It's the most important exam of my life. So it keeps going, and they're asking me questions, really grilling me, you know, and I think it's going well, and then one of the examiners looks at her watch and says, "Oh, we should probably wrap this up soon. We've got food reservations, the taxis will be here soon." I'm like, "Oh, nice to know what your priorities are. I'm trying to get a doctorate here." But no, the Viva goes well, and eventually they say, okay, you can go through the other room and we'll confer and decide. So I go through the other room, and my supervisor's now arrived, and he says, "Oh, how did it go?" And at that moment, we realised you could hear exactly what the examiners were saying through the wall. So I didn't have to tell him, he could just listen to them. No, but it went really, really well. I got very few minor corrections, and we're all putting our coats on and putting our shoes back on. And I couldn't help thinking to myself, this must be the only Viva in the history of Vivas where the student is in a stranger's house, met Einstein and Mr. Tiddles, and nobody had any shoes on. But seriously, I'm really, really grateful to this professor for letting me do my Viva in her house. It was a very kind gesture, which she totally didn't have to do. And because of her, I got the title doctor, and I'm standing here now. Hey! And I would like to use this opportunity on the stage here at the stand to announce that I'm running for President of the United States in 2020.